In this media, you will learn about the operation of the circuit breaker. Circuit breaker, CB, acts like a switch in the system. Circuit breaker can be operated 1. Manually, 2. Automatically, or 3. By trip commands. For low voltage and low power applications, MCB or MCCB or LVACBs, etc., are used with inbuilt protection arrangements to isolate the controlled equipment during fault. Thus, the circuit breaker isolates the faulty equipment from the system and protects the system from further damages. The fault may be due to 1. Short circuit, 2. Overload, or 3. Earth fault. Medium and high voltage systems handling more power, specially designed circuit breakers are used. Circuit breaker has the following parts for high and medium voltage applications: movable main contacts, fixed contacts, auxiliary contacts, arc quenching medium, arc splitter, arc runner, and spring for movements. Under normal operation conditions, the circuit breaker contacts will be closed. Thus, circuit breaker allows the flow of electricity through it. Usually, springs are used to close or open, trip, the breaker contacts. The spring for closing operation can be charged 1. Pneumatically, 2. By using an electric motor, or 3. By manual spring charging. The tripping operation spring gets charged automatically when the breaker is closed. The charged spring will help open the circuit breaker when trip latch is released on operation of a protection relay or on receipt of a manual trip signal. The external protection arrangements of high voltage systems include current transformer, potential transformer, protective relay, etc. The command signal for tripping the breaker has to be initiated by these components. The closing time of CB ranges from 0.3 seconds to 0.6 seconds, and the typical tripping time is 30 milliseconds or less. Under normal conditions, the current or voltage through the CT or PT will be within the prescribed limits. If they exceed or go below the preset value, the corresponding protection relay is activated. This relay in turn gives trip command to the circuit breaker by energizing the trip circuit. When trip command is given, the movable contact moves away from the fixed contact and thus interrupts the circuit. This happens automatically to protect the system and isolate the faulty equipment. The charged spring releases its pressure to move the movable contact away. Arc is produced between the contacts due to sudden interruption of the circuit. It has to be extinguished immediately. Arc quenching media like air, oil, vacuum, SF6, etc. quenches the arc produced. Arc splitter and arc runner help in fast quenching of the arc. The spring for closing mechanism has to be charged again to reclose the circuit breaker subsequently. The circuit breaker can be closed by means of a closing coil manually or by remote control by giving a close command. Thus, you have learnt about the operation of the circuit breaker.